Hi guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead. Today we are making lard-based soap. This is go along with our other series of soaps that we've made. This is my first time of making this particular soap, so Tony's going to stand here and make sure that I don't mess it up. I just like to make sure when I'm doing stuff like this that he's here. We are going to start out with 3.3 ounces of water, 1.4 ounces of lye. This is the type of lye that you can buy at your hardware store or...
100% lye. As long as the bottle says 100% lye, you're good. Okay?
And we have 10 ounces of lard.
And 1 ounce of lavender essential oil. We are not heavily flavoring this. We're just going to put half an ounce in just to add a little something to it.
That's lemon.
Oh, is it lemon? I thought it was lavender. Oh, well. It's going to be lemon.
Lemony.
Lemon lard soap.
All right. So, first things first, you really want to wear gloves whenever you're doing this. I know in the past, Tony did not wear his gloves.
Yeah, technically you're also supposed to wear eye protection, but I'll be doing the mixing. That way, nothing's going to happen to my wife.
So, first thing you want to do is take your water, put it in your container, and you're going to add your lye. You always want to add your powder or dry ingredients to your wet.
And you're going to want to put that in there carefully because there will be a chemical reaction, and then she, as you see, she leans back and then she's going to stir it but staying back because you do not want to get that on you or anything because
it will have some fumes.
Yep.
Not a lot, so it's not like it's going to be crazy, but as you can tell, you might be able to see it. It's starting to...
Yeah, so you want to do this in a well-ventilated area if possible. Now, as she's doing this, keep stirring, bud. That's registering already at 192 degrees, so you guys can understand the chemical reaction here.
And we use cold water, so it very quickly heats up.
Yep. So she's going to stir it, which is also going to aerate it, mix it, but also is going to help cool it down faster.
And you'll see as it starts to cool, it'll start getting a little bit clearer in the coloring. It won't be quite as white and stuff. It'll be...
The effort here is to get close to where they're both the same temperature. It's not a... You'll hear other people make a big deal out of it, but we have learned that it's not that big a deal. You want to be around 100.
Close, but...
Yeah, Yeah, we're already dropping. You can see we're at 169 now.
So dropping pretty quickly.
Yeah, so just stir it for a few more minutes. Now she's going to be using the silicone trays.
Those work out really well for us.
They're just so easy.
Because you can kind of pull them. You'll see later in the video, you can kind of pull them and stuff and use your fingers on the back of them to pop them out, and they come out really super, super nice.
Yes, they do. 63.
Are you checking my temperature again?
It says you're hot.
I think it probably says I'm cold.
So, we're about 150. I'm going to let her stir it for just a few more seconds and then we're going to get started here. You may hear some background noise from our dogs. We have them put up because the fumes and the chance of anything happening. It's better to keep kids and animals away from this.
You definitely want to keep your kids and animals away from that lye.
Okay, honey.
All right, we ready?
Yep, I think we're ready.
Now we're going to just pour the lard into the other mixture.
Yep.
Alrighty, I think it's your job.
Yep, I'm going to take over here just because if this splashes, you will get chemical burns. Normally we would be using a bigger container, but I broke it. So that's why I'm the one that's going to do this. I'm going to be using an immersion blender. I would recommend not using a paddle blender of any kind because it will throw it and it's bad. I like to keep mine at an angle, keep my hand over it. And then there's a double setting on this one. Just go low. Now what we're looking for is called a trace. It just thickens up like cake batter. Cake batter, a real thick pudding, brownie mix maybe. We'll show you when we get there. I'm known for going too far in trace. I'm known for it.
And if you go too far, it doesn't spoil it or anything. It just makes it a little bit harder to get into the molds and to get it formed the way you want it.
Yeah, you end up having to push it more than pour it.
But it dries quicker.
Yeah. Now, this is still very wet, so I'm going to speed the footage up so you guys don't have to listen to this thing run. Alright, if anyone wants to know what a trace is, it's basically thickened so it can stand and hang. See how it's hanging? I don't know if you guys can see that. See how it hangs and stands? Now you can go farther than that if you want, but woo, I'm making a mess.
That's what he's good at.
I'm going to let my wife handle this part because I got it all over me as usual.
Alright, so we're just going to start filling our molds up. It's good to have like a putty knife around because then you can scrape off any excess off of the top. And these are just silicone candy molds that I ordered. They were super cheap on Amazon. I'm gonna scrape off the top of that one either. Man, that lemon's coming through good. And these are smaller bars, so they'll work nice for like if you have a soap basket on the back of your commode, or for little kids to be able to hold on to easily.
Just pretty soaps is what I call them.
Remind me of soaps my grandmother always used to have. Sorry, these are a little bit harder to...
Yep. And see, she'll just pull it that way and then pull it over the next mold right off the whole top of the thing. Pull it over there. There you go. Now, if you wanted to, you could pick the tray up and drop it if you're worried about air bubbles. We're not exactly worried about air bubbles. That's good. It's just now a game of pushing the excess down in.
Making sure you get your molds full, but not a bunch of extra on the top.
Yep. Because then you'll just get flash on them when you take them out. And that's not real helpful.
Then if you're like me, you have Tony cut all the flash off.
Yep.
And he don't like it.
Alright, so pour the rest of it in here.
You gotta use your...
I will.
Okay.
That way we get it before it sets up.
Because if you let it set up, it will harden into a big bar.
Yeah, a big blob.
A blob.
And then clean up. A lot of people think clean up soap is hard. It's soap. It's not hard.
So it cleans.
It just takes a good bit of water to get it.
And you don't really have to have molds. You can take a regular baking pan, put you some parchment paper in it, and then just simply put your soap in there, take it out, cut it in bars however you want it. If you're not worried about having any designs on it or anything, that's what we did for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was no big deal. Very nice. I think we got an extra one this time.
Yep. So basically we've got everything covered here. Just to give you an idea, you just throw them in there.
And we're going to cover these with a towel and let them sit overnight.
Covering them with the towel is simply just to keep the heat in them, let them slowly dry. Tomorrow we'll pop them out, show you guys what they look like, and then you need to shelf them.
For another 20...
No, for
30 days?
30 days is what I would recommend. Honestly, we put these in our wood burner building. I can get away with 2 weeks.
We just kind of always have them curing, so...
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly making them, so it's a rotation. There's always some fresh and ready to go. But yeah, let's go ahead, wrap these up, and we'll get back with them tomorrow and show them the end results.
Yeah.
Alright, and we're back. So, they actually ended up setting for 2 days because I ended up having something with my throat and we had to go to urgent care. So, 2 days in the wood burner building, they already started drying and cracking around them because they've dried out so much. That's why I say if you have a wood burner or some source of heat that you can set these near, it'll really speed up the process of their drying. That said, my wife knows how to kind of separate them and mess with them, so I'll let her tell you how she does it.
So on these rubber ones, you can kind of pull them a little bit each way, and it loosens them up. So I don't know if you can see how it loosens the edges. And then you can just turn them over and just push on it with your finger pretty much, and they'll come out.
You still want to be easy when you're pushing them on your finger with some kinds of soaps. The Lard's a little more forgiving because it hardens up pretty good, but some of them are not.
Wow, those turned out pretty.
Yep. So,
and I think we have plenty enough lemon fragrance in it.
yeah, I mean, you can smell it. It's not going to kill you or nothing, but you can smell it. I mean, you can see that rosette pattern.
Let's check these out.
So, a lot of times they'll say per pound to use like 4 or 8 ounces of fragrance. I personally believe that's too much. Especially because as you use it, it's going to let more and more go. If you're worried about, using less fragrance and them losing their smell, you can package them in a plastic baggie.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll help hold their fragrance longer. But these smell great. Generally, if I'm not within 4 or 5 feet of the soap, I don't want to smell it. So this one has just a slight bit more flash on it that we'll have to carve off, but take a look at that.
It looks like a white chocolate bonbon.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if you guys can see that lines in that. And just a smooth back. Now you want to try not to be handling these too much because the Lard ones want to really break down against your fingers just from the heat of your fingers. They really need time to set up. I think I'm going to try and pop a few of these. This is a hard pan style with the silicone bottoms. So you just push each individual one kind of up. Those came out nice, but I didn't clean these well because it has green tea in it still from the last time. But there you go, you can see. Lard holds its pattern well. And it also helped because we didn't take our trace that far. So
don't throw away all your crumbs though.
Save those crumbs, throw them in a jar or a cup by the fridge. By the sink. That's our hand soap.
And we just grab what we need whenever we're washing our hands.
Yep. Generally, it comes down to a lot of times the pretty soaps, or like this one's damaged because it had an air bubble. But the pretty soaps go out and get given away, or we have fun with them, like having our granddaughters and grandsons wash their hands with them. And then we take all the ugly ones and all these scraps and use them around the house.
That's what we use.
Yeah.
This is a really, really pretty batch, though.
Yes, this batch came out really nice. The rosettes came out really nice. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it came out really nice. Let's get this flash all picked up and off here, and I'll hold the whole container up. But by making these, you know exactly what's going in your soap. I can promise you this is not how bar soap is made at most companies. There's all kinds of funky stuff in them. So, let's see if I can do this without dumping it. See if you guys can see those. So, another batch complete, another batch done. What do you think of Lard soap, baby? You like how it came out?
I really like Lard soap.
I think that this is a nice basic recipe. You do not understand that this is not the kind of soap that suds up in your hands.
Right.
All right, this is cleaning soap. So it'll get grease off your hands. It'll clean it up. It'll somewhat moisturize. But this is not like your fizzy soap. Because honestly, the soap that bubbles up doesn't do as much as soap like this, as far as cleaning wise. And the smell is, whew, that smells clean. That smells full on lemon clean. That almost smells like Pledge.
But you can add fragrances to it. You can add colors to it. You can add, like we did the green tea.
Green tea, anything abrasive.
You can add like
oatmeal.
rosemary to it. You can add oatmeal to it. Rose petals to it.
Yep.
All different kinds of things that you can do to it to make it your very own and exactly what you want.
And you'll be seeing more things like that coming up. We're just right now covering all the standard bases, the standard recipes, and then we'll grow and embellish upon that.
Then I will get creative.
Yes, then I'll let her run loose with it and do whatever. But we also have some other tricks on how to blend it coming up. So you guys need to be, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any videos, because we're going to have some tricks to make this even easier and even faster and even safer. So, what do you think, hon? You happy?
I'm happy. I think they turned out awesome.
Alright, so I'm Tony.
I'm Missy.
And we appreciate you watching us here on the Frugal Homestead, and we'll see you in the next one.